What's up, everybody? My name is Deric McCottrell. I'm the founder and CEO of Panther Magazine. In this video, I'll be explaining how I got into the Panther Platform and everything that led up to me starting and launching Panther Magazine. Before the video starts, I want to thank Honda Clothing on Instagram for the t-shirt, and Project Ice LC on Instagram also for the gold chain. It's appreciated. So I've always been into cars. I'm originally from San Diego, California, so I grew up on the West Coast culture a lot growing up, especially lowriders. I used to read Lowrider magazine a lot as a kid, which got me into cars. I always loved the box town car lowriders, nothing cooler than those. Then I got older, around 13 years old. I played sports a lot. I had a best friend that was 7 feet. His dad was probably 6'4", his mom was like 6'1". Their dog was probably 5'10". And they had a Grand Marquis, and I remember we hung out one night. And I got to driving it, and I've always loved Grand Marquis too. And I remember telling him, like, man, this is like one of my favorite cars. And he's like, a Grand Marquis? And I'm like, yeah. So I got to driving it for the first time, and I was just like, yeah, one day I'm gonna buy me a Grand Marquis. I stopped playing sports and decided to get into cars, which was always my first passion. So the first car that I bought with my own money was a 1997 Pontiac Firebird with T-tops. Car was fast. I used to race Corvettes on the highway and everything. Car was awesome. After the Firebird, I bought a 1999 Saab 9.3 convertible. The car was a lot of fun to drive. The maintenance was crazy, so I got rid of it. It started giving me electric problems, and I'm not fixing electric problems on the Saab, so I got rid of it and I was like, man, maybe I should get a bigger car. And I found a 1968 Buick Wildcat in somebody's driveway, like behind all the cars. And he wanted $1,500 for it, and there was nothing wrong with it, so I just bought that and drove it for a few months. And I remember driving the 68 Wildcat to work, like a couple days after I bought it. The first day I drove it to work, I noticed all the old men were looking at the car. And they were just like, I'm like, cool. Second day I drove it to work, I had like 3 guys pull up on me, like as I was getting on my car to go clock in. I'm like, how much do you want for it? And I'm like, nothing. I want to drive this car, but now I probably should have sold it to them. And where I had the car parked, it was snowing in the wintertime. And I wasn't too mechanically inclined, so the alternator went. I didn't know anything about it. I'm just like, the car's not working. Where it's at, I can't keep it parked there, so I sold the car, obviously, for more than I bought it for. Kinda wish I still had it, now that I know a little bit more about cars, but yeah, it was a fun car to drive. After the Wildcat, I'm like, all right, I had a few classic cars. Maybe I should stick with the bigger cars, but I'm not sure exactly what I want. And then it clicked. I was like, I didn't know they were Panthers at the time, but I was like, I should probably try to get me a Grand Marquis finally. So I did my research. I found a 2000 Grand Marquis with baby blue with white vinyl top. The interior was really nice. It was two-tone. It's actually one of the first videos on this channel. Was an old walk around that I did. I had found it and uploaded it to the Panther Magazine channel, so you should definitely check that out. I bought that for $1,000, I think. Found it for $1,000 with 125,000 miles on it. So, but before buying the Merc, I went on Instagram and searched like the Grand Marquis hashtags, and didn't see much. The Grand Marquis owners and fans hashtag, I didn't see that much. Then I came across Panther Mafia, and I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, there's people doing crazy stuff with these cars. I've always liked them, but I didn't know all that stuff was even a thing. So major shout out to Mad Vic and Panther Mafia. So yeah, I bought the merch and made an Instagram account, and I didn't know where to start. I just started following people, liking stuff. And the first person I met on Instagram was at Nauticop, New Jersey. He has the Red Crown Vic. That was the first person I ever talked to in the Panther community. And we was chopping it up and stuff. He was like, you gotta find some Panther guys where you live so you can do some things. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't know, how would I even search that? And then he sent me a few pages of people here in Massachusetts that drive Panthers. And one of those people was at @Hollow_Vic. We're still really cool friends. I actually just talked to him today. So me and Hollow started talking, and we ended up putting together a East Coast chapter of Panther Mafia based out of Boston. And then in the midst of doing that, we hung out for the first time, and we talked Panthers for like 3 hours. He had like a navy blue Vic at the time, and I had the baby blue Merc. And after the 3 hours of us talking, we went across the street and got Taco Bell and talked for like 2 more hours. And during this meeting, we was also setting up a meet, the East Coast Panther Mafia meet. That's where I met Hoomert the first time. This had to be 2020, 2019, 2020, I think. I met Hoomert. He had a completely different Mercury. And Car Guys New England. I met them both there, so I knew them way before Panther Magazine, which is really cool because I'm like really close with those guys now. So yeah, we had to meet at Wachusett Mountain here in Massachusetts. I don't know what the exact name of that town, where that's at, but I think 15 Panthers showed up, and it was great. That was like my first Panther meet. It was great. Then following that meet, a couple things happened behind the scenes, and the East Coast Panther Mafia chapter fell through. And ironically enough, once that happened, I needed to put a new engine in my Merc. So I'm like, great. Put a new engine in the Merc. I still didn't know too much about cars. Put the new engine in, it was driving fine, and the car stopped again. And I'm like, bro, I'm not putting another engine in here. So I sold it just to find out again it was the alternator. So I could have still had that Merc. So I went a year after that Merc. All the guys I was hanging out with in East Coast Panther Mafia, here in Mass, everybody just kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong words, but guys weren't really as active as they were when the chapter was a thing. So I kind of chilled. I didn't know I wanted to get another Saab, another Firebird, another 60s, 70s car. But I'm like, nah, after that first Mercury, I have to get another one. So like a year went by and I found an Aero, a 95 Aero Merc for like 1,500. Had like 220,000 miles on it. And the guy said it was making a noise whenever it turned, which were the control arms, but he didn't know that. So I got the control arms fixed. And yeah, the car was great. And I didn't make a build account for it on Instagram or anything. I just drove the Merc. Then a little bit after I bought the Aero, I moved to Nantasket Beach in home Mass. And I'm like, I love these Panthers, it's my second one, but I don't want to start another club. I want to do something else. And I'm just like, dude, I had thought of Panther Magazine once before when I bought my first Merc, so I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna try it. Did a bunch of research, and ended up launching issue 1 on May 4th, 2021. So it'll be a 2-year anniversary this year. And right now I have 15 issues out. Right now there's 15 issues out of Panther Mag. And it's been 2 years, it'll be 2 years in May. And I'll be dropping 16 through 20 this month, February 2023. Yeah, so everyone, the first issue of Panther Magazine, which was only an 8-page issue, including the front cover and the back cover, was everybody that I knew when I first joined the community on Instagram. So Mavic is in there, he's on the cover. Not a cop New Jersey, because he was the first person I ever talked to, and he introduced me to a hollow, which really got me into the community and talking to different people. Car Guys New England, who was at the meet, East Coast Panther Mafia meet, which is also on his YouTube channel, so I'll put that link in the description. And Boss P71, who does the retrofit headlights. I was gonna mod my Merc, but I never fell through with it. So all those guys are in issue 1 because those are the first people I talked to when I joined the community. And then, yeah, after that, things just really took off. So to where it is now. So, and now I drive a 98 Vic right now. Before the Vic, I had wrecked the Arrow, and I was looking for another Panther. Found one in Connecticut. Again, I live in Mass, so I thought the paperwork the guy gave me in Connecticut, I could, transfer it over and get the car registered. And I guess the paperwork was faulty. I couldn't even do anything with it. Couldn't get the car registered no matter what. And he stopped answering my calls, so I'm like, dang. Sold that Merc. About a few months later, I found the 98 Crown Vic LX that I have now. So I'm on Panther 4. And I love them. I don't think I'll drive anything else other than the Panther. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into Panthers and everything that led up into Panther Magazine. So yeah, thanks for watching, and head over to the Panther Magazine Instagram account to get you a copy of Panther Magazine. There'll be 20 issues available at the end of this month, February 2023. And yeah, just be on the lookout for everything that's to come in this new year. I'll be at 4 Nationals this year as this Panther Magazine subdivision, Panthers United, with Philly Panther Reeds. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the Panther community this summer, so definitely check out the Instagram page or the Facebook page. And yeah, I'm excited for everything, and there's nothing better than these Panther cars. I'm sitting here talking about it while most people are probably watching the Super Bowl. So